we are talking about overcoming discouragement and obstacles, or obstacles and discouragement to what? To growth and development. Um, uh, if you saw the show I did yesterday, it's right along this line. I was really laying out how to maintain a sustained campaign, a coordinated, um, you could say, attack on spiritual growth and development, on mental growth and development, on economic growth and development, just growing and not staying stagnant. And one of the things I talk about, that I tell people about growth and development, one thing you got to have is, it's a sustained effort. You got to have a commitment to consistency. And I think that's one of the things people overlook. But what we are talking about is, a lot of people call it the microwave generation or whatever, where we're used to things just happening instantly, you know, and growth and development doesn't operate that way. In this society and in this culture we live in, what happens is we are conditioned to, there's a conditioning in this society and in this culture of comfort. You can call it comfort conditioning, okay? And hold on one sec. Okay. So we get conditioned in this culture to enjoy comfort, and the process of doing that is distracting you into comfort. Okay, that's why that's how a lot of people just get off track, because you get distracted back into your comfort zone. It's almost like a slow, gentle U-turn from the direction you were originally going, and this causes people to not grow and develop, and to remain stagnant. And one of the things that's important to be aware of are these different blocks, obstacles to growth and development, which one of them we already named is just distraction back into the comfort zone. That's one of the big obstacles. I'm gonna tell you another major obstacle, and I'm naming these. The reason why I'm going over these obstacles, because these are obstacles that I see, that I've watched people operate in, that I've operated in, that are very prevalent. They're highly prevalent. You see it going on all the time, but you never hear it get spoken about because they're so subtle. And a lot of times they leave people not knowing what the heck happened. They're like, yeah, man, I had this goal. I was doing this. I was doing that. And then the next thing you know, 3 months went by, 6 months went by, and I hadn't done anything. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of time it's these distractions to your comfort zone. And then I'm going to tell you another major one. And in fact, this one, again, if you're not paying attention, if you're not watching your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and bringing them into the obedience of Christ, you might not even see this major one operating, and that is sometimes people aren't able to accomplish their goals and do what they need to do simply because of physical or cognitive shortcomings that they have going on. I could tell you there's certain goals I set out to do, and because I wasn't where I needed to be mentally, uh, I wasn't able to do what I needed to do. But what I did, I observed this thing and became aware that this was going on, and uh, I was able to do what I needed to do. You know, I was able to research better ways of concentrating. I was able to pinpoint certain things that were going on that were causing me to struggle to stay on target. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, hold on one sec. Let me try to figure this thing out. Sorry about that. I was able to figure out and identify certain things that I was doing, certain things I was eating, certain things that were missing in my diet, certain things I needed to do health-wise, exercise, whatever. I figured out some things that enabled me to stay focused better in certain situations, and those things were causing me to get distracted and stuff like that. So, and I'm saying that to say, hey, you might set out to do a goal, but now you're finding, hey, this is preventing me from doing the goal. So you need to start paying attention to that obstacle and working through that particular obstacle, whatever that is, and just keep working through and chipping away at this thing until you get it figured out. This is like, that's a major thing. I watch a lot of people, like I said, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna grow here spiritually, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna do that, and they don't realize, hey, I need to deal with this first. So I'll just tell you about myself. There were certain things I was consuming and eating that was causing my mind to just be very, what's the best way I could say it? Not so much erratic, but just very not focused and tense. And removing those things from my diet, realizing that I had some mineral shortcomings, and supplementing with certain minerals, not a whole bunch, maybe 4-5 minerals, turned everything all the way around, pushed my energy level to the roof, where I could go a couple days without a lot of sleep and be functioning high. I have it where I have sustained energy throughout the day. When I wasn't eating correctly, or when certain things were missing in my diet, and I was consuming some of the wrong foods, and I was dietarily or nutritionally out of balance, man, I would get these tired spells throughout the day where I'm sitting there and I'm kind of tired, and I wasn't able to concentrate at other parts of the day. I just wasn't productive. So making sure, and what I'm telling you to do when it comes to growth and development, whether it's spiritually, mentally, economically, physically, dietarily, whatever it is, you have to have a full spectrum approach to doing it. Okay? That's my made up term that I'm putting together to describe how the approach you need to have when you're trying to work through stuff in your life. You need to be looking all around. You can't just be focused on the one thing, because something else that you're not paying attention to could be causing you to be held back and could be an obstacle in your way. So just like when you're walking, you know where you're going, but what you do, like if I'm walking somewhere, I'm looking this way, but if I know I'm on rough terrain or unidentified terrain, I'm gonna angle my head down a little so I can see what's coming up in front of me. You know, you can't be, you can't have a narrow focus when it comes to growth and development. You gotta, or when it comes to, um, let's call it, when it comes to roadblocks in development. That's a better way of saying it. Obstacles in your development. When you realize, when you see, hey, I'm stagnant and I'm not growing in this particular area that I set out to grow in, you got to start looking. You know, you got to look all over the place. You got to go all the way from looking at diet, at fitness, to spiritual, discerning if you got certain spirits operating in you, to look back in time. You got to look back in time. You're looking everywhere. You're looking currently, you're looking back in time. There's something going on. All the way to, like I said, another area I had to look at how much sleep I was getting. Because sometimes I would be tired or exhausted and not even realize I was tired or exhausted, you know? So you really have to take a full spectrum approach to doing your detective work of seeing where the obstacles are that are preventing you from moving forward, and not get discouraged. Understand that it's a marathon. Understand that, hey, I'm going to try to do this. Like, for instance, I had a goal I set out to do, and lo and behold, I realized, dang, I ain't done this for a week or a week and a half. And I set out to do this every day. So what do? I just, all right, I'm going to try to do it again a week. Let me try this. And I put like a little reminder up on my to-do list. Let me see if this helps me do it every day. Okay? Guess what? That might not work. Don't get discouraged. Don't get frustrated. See what else. Look at something else. Try something else. A lot of people, man, that discouragement, that's a big thing, man. People don't have that enduring substance. And people get easily frustrated and easily discouraged. And a matter of fact, I wouldn't even say it's that, because I'll tell you, I get easily frustrated, but I don't run from the frustration. I'm able to sit there and look at the frustration and deal with it, and not just shut down. Because I don't think it's people, so much people are easily frustrated. I would say is more so they're easily discouraged and they easily give up when things don't go right. Oh man, you know what? And this is why, people, this is why people stay stagnant. This is why people wrestle with self-development, with correction, with rebuke, with admonishment. And people come up with all types of mechanisms to deceive themselves and those around them, and all manners of avoidance techniques, including deception and you name it. Okay, and it's a whole myriad of things people come up with to avoid facing themselves. Okay? Um, and again, you know, simply this is your homework. What you need to do when this video's over, you need to go read Sirach, the book of Sirach, or otherwise known as Ecclesiasticus, which is in the Apocrypha, and you need to read chapter 2 in it. It's short and it's to the point because it's telling you to endure. It said acceptable men are formed in the furnace of adversity. Okay, and it tells you to stay patient. You know, don't get all aggravated when you are reduced to a low estate. And it just read that thing and go through that, because again, this is at this. I think that this is one of the things that is at the source of stagnation, spiritually foremost, and in a lot of other areas of people's lives. It's just people have been conditioned to have a certain response to adversity, to frustration, to difficulties, to their mess ups. When they fail, to failure. They have an unhealthy relationship with failure. They have an unhealthy relationship with discomfort. And if you're going to be a righteous saint, you got to learn to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, because that is where the growth and development is at. And listen, this is heavy, y'all. You can be completely deceived and unaware that you have these types of fear responses, these types of failure responses, these types of discomfort responses. You could be totally unaware, and you could be deceived by your flesh because you've been reared in this growing up in your life. You could be completely, totally blind to it and be like, I don't see that in myself. That level can be triggering that type of response in your head. Well, I don't operate like that. Well, that ain't me. It's that and the other. I'm progressing. I'm not stagnant. I don't have that type of response to discomfort or to adversity or to, you insert it there. If you got that going on in your mind, you got it heavy. And I'm just telling you, again, being a head of assembly and dealing with saints, man, I have watched people heavily caught up in this, to the point where while you're talking to them, telling them, they are sitting there going against it. That's how strong that thing, that iniquity is like set and embedded in them. To which point, I close the door on that thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to get anywhere when people are moving and operating in that capacity. So, but we have to look at these obstacles. Got to face them. And you can't get discouraged. A lack of courage, not courageous. The Most High told us in the book of Joshua, the first chapter, he said, only be strong and very courageous. Okay? So it's like, this is how you receive these blessings. Some of y'all, man, listen, some of y'all been praying for this. Some of y'all been praying to grow in these areas. The Most High has sent the help. He sent the people. He sent the situations. You know it's there. and you won't be strong and courageous and go fight and take that blessing. I can't tell you the number of people that be sitting right in front of me. This is over the years, and I'm saying, look, exactly what I'm rebuking you and correcting you about. You said you've been praying for this. And I'll be like, so are you going to get this blessing, or are you going to be discouraged because it's not coming super easy? The way things came for you in life when you were conditioned, you know? And I tell people that some of them start fighting and man up. Other people just make excuses and just slowly die out. So yeah, y'all, in this dead season, man, I'm encouraged. I am encouraged because in this dead season, man, I've been talking and communicating with the saints more than I think I have in any other dead season. Getting a lot of testimonies, getting a lot of encouragement with brothers, just talking about, um, their walk and what they're dealing with in the dead season. Like how let's put it like this: how they're letting the dead season kill off in them what needs to die. They're letting it die in the dead season. They're letting the dead season kill off things in them instead of killing them off spiritually. You understand what I'm saying? And just this is what you brothers and you sisters need to be doing. Talk to your other brothers and sisters, because for me, talking to these brothers, it's like encouraging to me, going over the messages that are coming out and how the messages are helping us and everything like that. It's a blessing, man. Why have brothers and sisters if you're not going to be, speaking the word, talking about the word with them? And yeah, like yesterday, I was I was on the phone for hours with different saints talking about the word and what's going on this dead season. And that's again that show I did yesterday. These are tools you can use to grow and develop that the Most High is giving you. He's giving you His Spirit. He's giving you prayer. He's giving you His Word. He's giving you fasting. He's giving you counsel. He's giving you brothers and sisters to fellowship with. He's giving you all that stuff. And y'all, don't stop. Like Moses be like, oh, I need to fellowship. And they what they talk about is, hey, go up to the hub on Shabbat. You do. We do need to fellowship on Shabbat, but there's more to fellowshipping than that. Than just, hey, a couple hours during the week. So again, we gotta utilize all the resources that the Most High has put in front of us. We gotta look within. That's the big part, man. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, don't know how to look within, you need to watch the Journey Inward series, okay? And then what do you do once you look within and you see this stuff operating in you? What do? Bring it before the Most High. Confess your sins one to another. I come here on my show and be confessing them before. You know what I'm saying? Be transparent. Let that shame and humility come in there and do its perfect work on that pride. That pride is a big one. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, take advantage. Like I said, the dead season, man, what the dead season does, man, it brings all this stuff to the surface going on within you. Let it. Pay attention to it. It brings wicked shit that's operating in you to the surface. That's what it's been doing to me. And you know what I've been doing? Noting it, dealing with it, studying about it. If I ain't on the phone talking to the saints, I'm listening to messages working through these issues that the Most High is bringing to the surface of me to become aware of. How do you work through them? Pray, fast, seek the Lord. Like once you see this stuff and you see how it's operating in you, humble yourself, supplicate to the Most High, pray and seek Him, and humbly ask Him. That's what supplication is, to remove it from you. Because ain't nothing else gonna do it. Ain't nothing gonna get it off you. You do your part. Let me clarify. You do your part. Okay? Just like in the book of Joshua, chapter 1, he told him, hey, I give you all these lands, they're yours, but what you gotta do is you gotta go fight. You gotta go do some of the footwork. Okay? You gotta, like I was saying earlier in this show, you gotta see what the obstacle is. You gotta do what you can do to remove these obstacles. And then after that, stand and bring it before the Lord and put it before Him. You know what I'm saying? This is the spiritual combat warfare manual we talking here. You got deliverance. Some of y'all, you're going to realize, yo, this is a spirit operating in me. This is something coming in me, taking control that's been there forever. Hey, it's truly spiritual combat time. Get your brothers, get deliverance. You got, if you're in an assembly, you got your leadership, you got, man, forget about it. But the first thing, the number one thing you have to do, and maybe some of y'all could guess it, drum roll, I'm gonna see if any of y'all could guess it. But the first thing y'all need to do is make a decision that you're gonna do this. That's step one. And then after that, pay attention. Let the Most High guide your footsteps. But yeah, y'all, that's why I wanted to come in here and say, definitely, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, definitely put them in the comments. And y'all get to work. Stop being stagnant. Stop like that video I put out the other day. Stop wasting good failures. Stop wasting it. Stop wasting good adverse situations of adversity. Stop wasting them. Take advantage of them. Learn, develop. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get this thing. Anyway, with that said, I'm Michael Israel. You watching Spiritual Combat, and shalom, shalom.